Guys, and welcome back to our Le Havre AC save here on FM 2017. We are back, as promised, at the end of September. I have one little bit of transfer information to show you. So we did do something on deadline day. We've sent somebody in and we sent somebody out. As you can see, sort of broad brush overview. We're 10th, 14 points on 9 games. So, ooh, I'm sorry, I'm all caught up. So, we're a couple of points away from Europe. I expect us to tail off hard at the end of the season, so I wouldn't read in that this is an awesome place for us. I just don't think we're gonna live up to it. I do think we're better than the crowd down here. So I think we're gonna net out somewhere in the bottom half of the table. If I can keep it sort of 10th through 13th, that would be ideal. But as long as we're not dealing with relegation, I'm totally content with what's going on. Again, defense has been an absolute rock. I think we've been doing a fair amount of rotating, so I'm actually pretty pleased that the group we have is fourth best right now in League One. And I think they're long-term, these are some longer-term guys in there. Offensively, we're getting goals from a bunch of places, but we're struggling for sort of pure goal scoring. You'll see I brought in a striker. That was our deadline day business. He's getting into the team. Okay, he's only played a couple of matches for us, so he has scored. He scored on his debut. Unfortunately, that's the only thing he scored. So we'll have to see how things net out. Brahim Brahim Konate has been working out quite nicely in the box-to-box midfield role. He's actually pretty dangerous there for us, so I'm pleased with that. And we moved Firman Mendy on last year from the left back position, and Musa Niakate, who we had brought in for him as a youngster in the January transfer window last year, is actually starting to work out very, very nicely. Our midfield is playing strong. We've had some injuries, and we're rotating around a little bit in there. But overall, things are relatively solid in how we're playing. So just going back, we lost 1-0 in what I thought was a win game for us against Stade Bressois in our last live com. We've been eating up TV money like it's going out of fashion. We went away and we finally managed to break the away hex in the league, and we beat Nice 2-0. With Brahim Konate getting a nice goal, sort of a long-range top-of-the-box effort, and then Gaetan Laborde, who is our new striker, and I will show you him, netted one in the 27th minute. We then came home against near top of the table AS Monaco. 2 send-offs, one much earlier than ours. I'm pleased to say that we got out of here with a point. This was a tough game. Adrian Honu went down in this one for a while on us, a couple of weeks, including the international break in there a little. So this has been tough. But I'm pleased to say that we managed to grind a result at home against what should be far superior opposition. I mean, at Monaco's Champions League level. So to go in and say, yeah, we managed to pull a home draw out at that level was really nice. Bordeaux is just having an absolute train wreck of a season. So we went to the Nouveau Stade de Bordeaux, the Montmout Atlantique, and managed to pull out a 2-1 win. Brahim Konate again drops one in early from the top of the box. They get back about halfway through the second half, and then Romain Habron netted a really, really nice one for us. So we managed to pull something out of that affair, which was altogether pleasing. And then we just finished a game against fourth place Saint Etienne, which again, another on the road 0-0 draw against very difficult opposition. So I'm pleased with where we're at when it comes to that, and how we're playing against tougher opposition. It lets me know that the squad, while we have youth and we have a lot of potential in here and it's still developing, is solid. So we do have a lot of upside here. which is what we're looking for. Other happenings is we drew FC Metz, a fellow League One side, in the Coupe de la Liga third round, which was a little unfortunate, but they're worse than us, so I'm hoping I can do a little bit of rotation and perhaps get out of that one and into future rounds. Like I said in the launch episode, both the Coupe de la Liga and the Coupe de France come with European places, so I'm trying to be a little careful. I think we have significant promise in one, if not both, of those competitions. But I want to be a little careful because going into Europe without really solidifying our depth um, could be a disaster for us. That being said, I think we're starting to see that the depth is gelling with the squad. So I'm able to do a lot of sort of rotating around and plugging guys in and out in different places, and I'm getting consistent results. As you can see, the month really has been pretty solid in that, and it's the first sort of really solid month. Although we were bouncing, loss win, loss win, loss win. 2 in a row was kind of obnoxious, but we've been sort of in control, which is what we want. So things are starting to come together. I'm excited by what I'm seeing in here. So. And we do have a fair number of guys going out on international duty here for the October international break that we're about to come up on right after Nantes. So it'll give us some time to heal up, train up, get comfortable, relax, get guys back in action before we go out into Lyon, who are playing quite fantastically in the league. They seem to have straightened themselves out from whatever the heck was going on last year. Looking at the squad in the league, like I said, Brahim Konate is our current goal scoring leader at 3. The rest of the crowd, we've got one from a bunch of different places, but we're certainly not an offensive machine. We are leaning very heavily on our defensive prowess. If teams do start to figure us out, it's going to become a very serious problem very quickly, which is why I'm trying to figure it out relatively quickly. Assists, Zinedine Farhat is getting there again. Adrian's out injured, although he is regularly in the squad, as you can see. And then average rating, Musa Niakate, who is suspended for yellow card accumulation, is out for today's, but Brahim is in there. Baptiste Allo is in there, and then Huno, again, a bunch of guys that are really performing. Foremost Mendy, he and Baptiste Allo are really starting to gel nicely in that center pack pairing. He's 23 and again 23. So we have two 23-year-olds that still have potential to be gained that are starting to come together. So this is barring any significant buyouts and a continued progression of the club, I think this is a 5 to 7 year center back pairing that we're looking at here, barring anything sort of disastrous in effect on that. Tactically, things are a little different. Again, it's just adapting to this striker role. The rest of the crowd stays mostly the same. The other thing that I did change was our center back. So it turns out through the analysis of looking at a bunch of the games, we were getting shredded by killer through balls. As our midfield was pushing up and we were compressing, we were just getting absolutely just right between the two of them, burned by strikers on the killer through ball. So what I did was Allo is much better, Baptiste is much better in the cover role than Formos was. So I backed him up into the cover and then decided to push Mendy up into the stopper role. So the aim was Allo can cover the through ball and try and sweep that up. Mendy can put pressure on the guy attempting to put the through ball in, and by all accounts, it's actually worked. So we put it in after the Stade Brestois match, and I think we've done a pretty good job of cutting it down. We're doing pretty well on the outside in shutting down what's going on. So I think overall, as you saw, we're not really leaking a lot of goals, which is what we want. So Gaetan Laborde is a Bordeaux purchase that we brought in. We spent, that's kind of odd. I think he's probably better than that. He has to be better than that. Something is broken. So we brought him in as a striker to augment Alamami Gori here. He's better than what we've got, although this is sort of odd and broken. in terms of Gory, they're rotating sort of nicely. Alamami got hurt, so that kind of launched us into this as well, which sort of sent us, down this path. Again, there's a bunch of things that I like from him. He's a pretty good long shooter. He's got great mental pieces here. Again, the technicals that you're looking for, so strong technique, decent passer, good finisher, good dribbler, first touch. And again, mentally, he can be in the right place. He's got good composure and concentration, decent decision making. He's determined as all hell. High flair, good off the ball, positioning's not bad, teamwork, work rate. And he's got the physicals to boot, so he's very fit. Okay, he's not the best jumper in the world, but I'm not looking for him to be on that. I'm really concerned as to why that sort of did that, because we think he's 3.5 stars with 4-star potential. I don't understand why this thinks he has got a low rating for the senior team, but superb potential on there. So I'm a little confused. The other one who went out was Cedric Cambone. We sent him away. Again, I have a couple of guys. Fortes is another one that we're going to get rid of. Cloud Delana has played a few for us at this level, but these two are really the feature center back pairing. They do have a lot of potential. They're still playing very, very well and developing very nicely. So a 31-year-old center back just didn't seem like the ideal thing to keep sort of keep lugging around the club. His value is about 500K. We managed to get 400 out of him for him, and we sent him down to League Two in the Joker transfer window. So one, French club 1-to-1 on that. So overall, I think we managed to get okay money out of him. It's helped boost our ability to really go for the youngsters again. So I'm going to rebalance the transfer dollars back into some wage budget pieces, and we're going to go look at another crop of 19-year-olds as we get into the December-January timeframe and start signing that next crop of expiring youth into our ranks. As you can see this year, we've had some fantastic ones. So like I said, Musa's out, so Theo Pellinard is coming in. Again, I'm curious to see what he could do. He's pretty strong. So we'll see what happens. So that's pretty much the goings on at the moment. So we might as well watch a game here, because that's sort of what we all showed up for, instead of listening to me babble all evening. Yeah, we'll wait for these guys to come in. I've been a little more conservative about letting guys come back from injury through my reserve side until they're in a lot better shape. That seems to be working out better this year than it did last year. I'm not getting quite the rashes of injuries. So we're going to keep doing that just because it seems to be doing something productive. He is a wonderful player. We got rid of him. It wasn't. Yeah, actually, it was a fairly easy decision. He was being an absolute pain in my ass about not wanting to play. He jumped up and down about it, so he said, "Fine, if I can get money for you, I don't want you hanging around. Plus, you're not really part of what I'm looking to do long term." And once you sort of tell them that, then they don't really want to be here. Ooh, lower door. Okay, well, we got fouled on the edge of the box here, so we're home against Nantes. We're still going to keep playing the same system and kind of conservatively. As we talked last episode, I still haven't made up my mind. Ooh, nice play from Chibake. I haven't really. Shit, come on, nice. Made up my mind what I want, what I'm really looking for, or what I am looking for long term from the tactic to really sort of open things up. I will fully admit, when we talked a little bit in the last episode, I have a definite sort of bias just from my viewpoint on the game and sort of where and how I grew up with it and how I learned to a more physical countering, physically demanding athletic style. And I talked a little bit about sort of an awakening. Ooh, nice shot from Ayasi. An awakening of, is that the right way to really succeed, especially in Europe in the game? I don't know the answer to that. Is still the response. I'm spending a lot more time thinking about it, and I'm not sure. So I think at some point this sort of constant perpetual counter is gonna not work. Especially, whoa! I think Gaetan nets his second in a cheeky little shot to the corner, but that's what we pay him for. Let's see this one on replay before I continue my thought on the subject. Come on. Come on. Okay. Enzo, Pellinard showing off something nice early. Ferrat drops the header, and then Laborde is right there. Gaitan puts it in the back of the net. A nicely worked team goal. As I was saying, I'm not sure as we progress through this series and we start getting, I think Europe and Champions League and that sort of thing is sort of an inevitability. I hope it's an inevitability. I prefer to think that we're going to be good enough in this to make it an inevitability. Um, and I'd prefer to think that I'm not going to get mired in like mid-table League One and never figure out how to progress. Um, that being said, I have myself convinced in my head that this sort of counter system isn't gonna work against the best of the best in Europe. The Barcelonas, um, the Real Madrids, the Bayern Munichs, the big guns from England. So I think I need to do something different, but part of me says, wait and find out. The other struggle is if I do wait to find out, it's going to be too late to do anything about it. We let up a giant open header there. They just thankfully missed it. It's going to be too late to do anything about it. So by the time I sort of wait and see on the same recruiting path, I'm going to end up in a situation where we're going to be either we're going to have to spend an absolute bloody fortune to retool the entire team into a more technical side. We're going to have to figure out a more technical, and fluid attacking tactics sort of on the fly and recruit players and waste money on not getting entirely the right players. And this is getting a little more aggressive from them. Sort of that whole vicious sort of loop if I get it wrong. The other side is I could be retooling the team into a thing that's not right at all and just sort of make a mess out of stuff, which, boy, we just keep snapping into every single counterattack. Okay, that's not going to go well. Ooh. Thankfully, a miss from them. Something's not going right here. Well, let's see if we can get into halftime and figure out what the hell's going on. I mean, they're coming. You know what? Let's see if I can't take a little pressure off the situation. See if we can't take the pressure off a little bit. Or, not. So I'm still stuck in this, like, what's the right thing to do, what's not the right thing to do. And as I inch myself closer to my next sort of major recruiting window, I am suffering from a very high level of doubt as to what over the top, nice killer ball, but we just can't do anything with it. I'm sort of stuck that what do I do? Do I take a gamble on sort of a recruiting class? Do I not? I don't know. So I'm still a little stuck. So if you got any advice, I'm certainly interested in listening. I doubt I will be. I'll probably be at the window when you guys see this one. So I will hold off before doing anything. I've got a couple of episodes before we get into that. So by the weekend, I should actually be ready to play in that space. So I'd be curious if you guys see this on Friday, Friday, Saturday, what folks think about what the right way to go is. Is it, I can't figure out if I'm just being silly and I should just stick to my system, or if there's something really here and we should start thinking about how to morph this longer term into a more controlling system. I just don't know. I'm not exactly thrilled with what I've been seeing, so we're going to fire him up. Anybody? Nobody's standing out. So, okay, well, we'll send him back. So I am interested to hear what people think on the subject on that. But for now, we are firmly rooted in what we are doing here. We are most assuredly a physical side. We are most assuredly a counter-attacking system. We're going to press you, we're going to push you, we're going to tackle you, we're going to shove you around, and I'm perfectly willing to race you around. We do rely a bit on short passing for the most part. Um, but as you can see, we do play some progressive longer balls, and we do utilize our speed quite a bit in a lot of places. So I am resigned and comfortable with continuing this mode of operation. But again, I think at some point we are going to. Oh God damn it! I think at some point we're going to get found out. Like this. Like are we technically gifted enough at the back right now? Probably not. But I think those guys will come into it, so I'm less worried about that. But stuff to think about. It's interesting. It adds a new dimension to what we're doing to try and figure out what the right things to do are. That was stupid. So that wasn't the right thing to do by any stretch of the imagination, or any yardstick one would measure that by. That's not exactly winning any awards either. So let's see here. Come on, guys. Lacall. Okay, well, we found the marauding. Okay, let's take a look at substitutions. Who's not having a great game? Oh, we're going to bring you off. Ayasi's not. So bring Brahim in. We'll save the third sub for a little bit and see how things develop. I don't want to pull the call out just yet. I hate when they do that. But we'll bring a little bit more patience and hopefully some solidification to that wing. The other thing I want to do is tweak my tactic to stop going down the one direction. It doesn't seem to be having any net effect on what's going on. So if the business of the day isn't any different, why bother doing it? Crap. Ooh. We got in luckily on that one. Or in lucky on that one. Well, I still haven't changed that tactic because we keep getting bailed out on things like that with it from the corners, so I'm a little reluctant to pull somebody out to this area and cover because we seem to get lucky on those sort of awkward clearances. It still leaves us under pressure in situations like this, which is disappointing, but that's another thing. Maybe those are the kind of tweaks and refinements I need to make um, to help sort of kick us to the next level. Okay, we're 70 minutes in. Let's see. He's improved. Let's try up front. The defense is sort of solidified, so we are on some level taking a risk with Mendy having a yellow out back there, but okay. Our former PSG man. Ooh, Pellenard getting himself in there. Cheeky little move, but doesn't really manifest in anything. Okay, let's do this again. Third time's the charm. Well, they certainly sprung on us, but we've slowed them down. I like that about the style that we play is that we do. Oh, God damn it, Bogdan. Just one times it. Bogdan Zekovic. Well, I don't want to get crazy. I'd rather just lose this 2-1 than the effect of getting blown out of the water. It's a shame we're losing at home. I mean, Nantes are a good side, but, well, unfortunately, our good month run comes to an end. So that is Le Havre 1, FC Nantes 2. We will bitch at them because that was kind of shit. We're still in 10th, so not so bad. We still got 5 points clear of the playoff spot. So, what you gonna do? Okay, so Murderers Row continues next month. We go away to Olympique Lyon. And then an interesting and a potentially winnable game against Montpellier. We have the Coupe de la Liga third round against FC Metz. And then we will finish the month and come back for a very winnable game against SC Bastia. So until then, guys, do remember, leave a like if you like what we got going on in the videos. Leave me some comments and leave me some thoughts if you've got any, and I will see you guys in the next episode. So until then, bye.